Mish, over to you.
Oh,
You're
me.
starting the call tonight.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight's call. I am Dr. Michelle Seagreen. I'm a chiropractor from Durban North in Durban, obviously, and I also practice up in Hillcrest, which some of you might have heard with our discussion of the water issues there. But we're not discussing water issues today. We're discussing the remarkable invention that X39 is and the company LifeWave. So I was introduced to this wonderful product by a colleague of mine, Dr. Kathy Mercer, and I saw the response that she had to this product. And after some skepticism and about 6 weeks of looking into the product and having a meeting with Merle and a friend and diving into as many websites and videos as I could in that time. A couple of these Zooms I attended, some of the trainings I attended, and eventually I decided to take the plunge. And I must say that I learn something new every day. And there is something positive that I see every day in terms of people's health, especially. Um, do you want to introduce yourself again, Merle? And then I can go on.
Perfect. Thanks, Mish. So, my name is Merle Westcott. I live in Everton, which is very close to Hillcrest. So, the water issue is something I know all about. And I joined LifeWave in December 2022. I was shown a video of David Schmidt, who's our CEO, and then Ben of X39, talking about X39 and telling healthcare professionals about it. And it made perfect sense to me. This is my 30th year as a life alignment therapist. So I've been in energy medicine for 30 years and I've been a nutritionist since 2014. So it made sense. And I said, I'm going to start patching. But my previous experience in network marketing had not been great. And so I said, I'm never telling anybody. But when you discover a product like X39, this tiny little patch, and you see the miracles that it does for people, you can't not tell others because literally we change lives by spreading the news about X39. And I'll tell my story later. And LifeWave has completely changed my life and so many people in my team. So everybody who's on this call tonight is here because I decided, having first said I'm not going to tell anyone, to start telling people. And the results, as Mish said, that we see every single day are incredible. I wake up every morning to stories of people's lives being changed. And it's just such a blessing to be able to help people change their lives from a physical point of view and also from a financial point of view. So let's start the presentation. Mish is going to do the product side, and then I will do the business side of the presentation.
So the question that we always ask is, have you been patched yet? And if we could all look like this wonderful lady, it would be remarkable. But what we can say to you is the patch will elevate, activate, and regenerate, and it will bring you all sorts of good experiences. Before we go into the patch and what it does, though, we've got to speak about David Schmidt. He is a remarkable man. He's an inventor and scientist. He started this particular company over 20 years ago, and currently, I believe he's got over 180 patents. He specializes in age reversing now, and in 2008, when stem cells became the buzzword, David focused his attention on stem cell research. It's quite interesting to me because my boys were born in 2006 and 2004. And it was in between that, 2000 and, yeah, and it was only sort of 2006 when my second child was born that they started coming and asking us if we wanted to harvest the stem cells. So this recent patent, the X39, took 10 years and 4.5 million to bring to the market. Also about David Smith, he's an incredible, humble, and intelligent man. So in order to bring this to the market, he got a patent or a few patents, and the patent on the X39. And as you all know, a patent has to be specifically tested. You have to prove that everything that you're talking about is proven. It's if this, then that, without a doubt, every single time. And the wording of this patent is quite interesting Basically, it talks about how, as a result of increasing copper peptides, you activate the stem cells, which improves energy, elevates antioxidants, reduces inflammation, manages pain, improves stamina, elevates collagen production, and improved wound healing. So, all of those claims have been substantiated with science and case studies. So, why the X39 stem cell patch? Well, stem cells are the building blocks of your body. If you need repair in your skin, the repair comes via your stem cells. But unfortunately, the fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. And as you know, everyone is aging. By the time you are 30, only half your stem cells are active, and at age 60, you lose almost all stem cell activity. Remembering that this is sort of a guideline, obviously, the healthier you are, the better it will be. So, how does X39 work? It is a proprietary form of phototherapy, light wave therapy. Essentially, in that little disc that Merle showed you, inside that little structure, there's a nanocrystal technology little structure in the shape of a specific shape, and that takes your low-level infrared light that your body emits, and it reflects it back into your body at a specific frequency, and that frequency then activates biochemical pathways that result in increased peptide and therefore increased stem cells. So the only thing that's coming from this patch is your own body's light going back into your body. So there's no drug, chemical, or stimulant. It's not piercing your skin in any way. So it's non-transdermal and non-invasive. So it's purely your own body's light doing the work. So from this patch being put on your body and activating with your body's heat and reflecting that light, you can expect the following. You can expect increased strength, mental clarity so that brain fog will lift, reduced inflammation, restored muscle or skeletal conditions. Now, I must tell you, I've experienced everything on this list. Restored muscle or skeletal conditions was one of the things that I really wanted because I had a failed knee surgery and I wanted to play tennis on that knee properly and without a big hectic brace. And I've got that desire. Increased stamina, improvement of sleep. For the first time in years, I started dreaming again, which meant that my sleep was deeper. I have improved energy and vitality. I wake up awake. I get through the day more easily and improved skin appearance. And that was a big one for me because I've had severe eczema more or less since 18 months old. I've never had a major period of clarity of skin, and my skin is still looking better than it ever has. And in November, I woke up and I was completely eczema free for the first time in many, many years. So I can testify to the fact that using X39 will bring optimal health and a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being. On this call, you might find that people mention specific diseases or illnesses, and this product is not intended to treat specific diseases or illnesses, but it will activate your own body's healing and repair mechanisms. All right, this is a great illustration. Now, this is a 77-year-old woman's brain, a topography map, so infrared images taken of her brain. In session one, she had not been patching yet, and you can see that red and orange showing high levels of inflammation, and she had a lack of brain coherence at this time. 3 weeks later, she had had X39 daily, and she had no more inflammation, and she had improved brain coherence. And at session three, you can see on that image that there was a complete turnaround. There was better brain coherence, and quite remarkably, after this, her brain remained calm after wearing the patch for 6 weeks. So, what are the long-term results of wearing X39? You saw within that 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced as per that topography map. Now, that lady was one of quite a few people whose brains were imaged using the X39 under those sort of conditions. But in the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. So reset at a level where healing can become more easy for your body to do. within 3 months, your collagen is increased. Now, collagen, everyone knows that you take collagen to help your skin, your nails, your hair, your joints. And a few years ago, everyone was taking collagen powder, and still people take collagen powder, which is great. But X39 helps your own body repair and create collagen so that your own body can heal, and it reverses the wrinkling effect in quite a few people's facial faces, actually. So it helps the wrinkles. But if it's helping physically on the outside, it is also helping on the inside, because collagen is not just for skin; it's also for your organs and blood vessels and everything else that your body uses or has. And then within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. And at this stage, I just want to direct you to this is at info.com, because all of these are proven as per case study. And those case studies are found on this is at info.com. So David Schmidt says it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. And I can attest to seeing this age reversing in my mom's actual physical features, as well as Merle's. So how to wear your X39. You wear your patch for 12 hours, and then you take it off, go through the night, because you need to repair and rejuvenate. You don't want to get resistant to the actual light wave therapy that's coming off that patch. You can then throw the patch away, and the next day you put a new patch on and repeat. You can put your second-hand patch onto someone else, because there might be some low-level effect on that patch, but certainly not to the extent that you have for those first 12 hours. And I can attest to the fact that when I started using it as per David Schmidt, that's when I had the biggest change in terms of my skin health. You can wear more than one patch at a time. So I have in my practice, I use Eons, and I also use ice waves. And perhaps later I'll explain more, but these are for pain and inflammation. And so, of course, you can use pain and inflammation patches while you are using the X39 for the repair. And because you're increasing your body's healing and therefore cellular processes, you need to drink plenty of water and electrolytes, because you need water and electrolytes for your body to heal even better. So X39 is so sophisticated and simple to explain. And I have to tell you that those testimonies definitely are life-changing and emotional. Um, and it absolutely works. Yesterday, yes, it was a Sunday, I was treating a anesthetist. And I was mentioning to him for about the 100th time about X39. I think he's tired of me talking about it. But I mentioned to him that one of my patients, when he started patching his GFR, which is his glomerular filtration rate for his kidneys, in other words, the kidney function, was down at 34. He only has one kidney and was down at 34. And his last blood test, which was last week, was up at 74. And the anesthetist said, "What? That does not happen." I said, "Yes." I said, "It's these patches I've been telling you about." He said, "Okay, send it to me." So I sent him the healthcare practitioner video where David Schmidt talks to healthcare practitioners, and let's see what happens. But from a specialist to acknowledge that change for me was huge. Over to you, Merle.
Thanks, Mish. And we see those changes all the time. So just a couple of things. So Mish talked about when she started patching properly, the difference in she saw in her skin. And that was not her wrinkles disappearing. It was her eczema going that she's had since she was 18 months old. So
Sorry, I didn't specify.
when Mish said she'd hurt, my skin, um, somebody that I know very well asked Mish if I'd had Botox, because they didn't want to ask me, obviously. And no, I haven't had Botox. So I've also been asked if I've had a facelift. I do know I'm turning 59 this year, but it's all X39. And then there are a couple of other people on the call who've had incredible results for their skin, and one of them is Alex. So maybe we can hand over to Alex, and Alex can tell her story, because Alex sitting there, cameras on, so yeah.
Would you need to leave your camera off if you don't want to speak?
No, no, it's not going to happen.
So, um, okay, so very briefly, I'm just going to give. I got introduced to LifeWave after Merle nagged me for 8 months, but I got introduced because a friend's brother had dementia. Not because I was interested at all. I thought it sounded like a whole lot of nonsense. Um, anyway, I did months and months of research, and I'm not going to tell that whole story. And I'm a nurse by profession, but very long ago. And because of what I found out, which was both the credibility of the product scientifically and the credibility and ethics of the company, um, I don't enjoy multi-level marketing, but I could either choose to use the technology, which I thought was mind-blowing, or not, because I had a philosophical objection to the vehicle that it came in. So that's why I patched. And I had an inflammatory disease for 20 years, and I woke up 10 months later pain free, having managed it with. I used to buy prednisone in 1,000 milligram, in 1,000 tablets, 5 milligram, 1,000 tablets at a time. I did use other stuff like Celebrex and stuff like that, but if I needed to cycle, I needed to ride, I needed to walk, I needed to do all that stuff. So I just took whatever I needed to take in order to allow me to do that stuff. So, and I knew what I was doing because I had the knowledge and the education. So my life has changed completely. And in between that, I took it for the polymyalgia, but in between that, I did lose a lot of the fine lines on my face, a lot of my hair had fallen out and it's all come back. Um, I've even managed to lift the brows of my eyes so that I no longer get these little black dots when I put mascara on. Um, and if that's what it's doing to the outside of me, I can only imagine what it's doing to the inside of me. Another thing, by the way, was leaky gut because I was so stressed, and that's repaired. I had to recolonize that gut, but that's repaired. So that's essentially my story. And my only message is to say that some people, things happen really, really quickly, and other people not so quickly. And it really does depend on so many things. Every single one of us is an individual. And it just takes the time that it takes because your body prioritizes in terms of the repair. And it's not always comfortable because healing is a big job. It's not medicine and disease management and symptom control. Healing is like rebuilding something. And sometimes stuff has to be broken down before it can be rebuilt. So it's a process. I think that's about that.
Thanks, Alex. And I think it's so important that Alex has said it's a process because things do take time. And sometimes we don't realize what's changed. So last week, my husband he had a hereditary gum disease. His mother had it. She had to have surgery to correct it. But last week he was with his dentist because he has a crown that's 30 years old and it actually needs to be replaced. And he needs a couple of other, crowns on his front teeth as well. But he said to his dentist, well, how are my gums? And the dentist said, your gums are absolutely perfect. And so he's gone from having to go to an oral hygienist every 6 months for treatment because he was losing his gums. And down the line, they were going to have to cut them and stretch them and do all kinds of things and stitch them because actually his teeth were going to fall out because that was what was happening to his late mom. And she was only in her 60s when she passed away. And now the only place that he has any gum that's slightly receding is above the crown, which is apparently very normal for a tooth with a crown. And it's the old crowns that have metal in them, and the new crown he's going to have won't have metal, and that won't happen. The gum will grow perfectly. So he noticed months ago that his gums didn't bleed anymore, but of course he didn't tell me because I find these things out like by the way. But it's quite interesting to know that the gum disease is actually reversed completely. And he's been patching for 2 years now. So these things happen, and we sometimes don't notice them or even think to mention them to anybody around us that they have happened. Because, as Alex said, the body heals when it's going to heal, and other things perhaps happen first. And so we really have to remember what all the issues were that we had when we started, because they definitely go. It's just a case of the body does it in its own time. Sometimes we have a result very quickly. Sometimes, it takes longer. So I know that Avril also has a story. So I'm going to ask Avril to chat because she hasn't been on for a while on a Monday. And so a lot of people wouldn't have heard her story. So over to you, Avril.
Thank you, Mo. I'm Avril from down in Mossel Bay. So I started pitching last year in about May. Amanda Ace, see, she's not on the call today, but she approached me. She showed me the pitch, and I just looked at it and said, "This is something out of Star Wars." So I was really skeptical. I was not ready to use the pitch. It took me a month to just have a look at this is it info. And then a month later, I decided to get the patches and I started using it. In that whole process, 25 years ago, I had an op and my lungs had collapsed. So since then, without fail, every year I had a cold, I had the flu, I had bronchitis, and I went into pneumonia and I had to get myself out of there because if I didn't, I'd have to end up in hospital. So it was a fight every year. And once I recovered from the um, pneumonia, then my chest would be wheezing for at least 6 months. It was always a long time. Sometimes it was like from the 1 year's cold to the next year, my wheezing hadn't stopped. It just carried on wheezing. And 2 weeks into the X39, just one day I realized that I'm actually breathing properly and I wasn't wheezing anymore. So my chest had cleared up. And so that was a great result. And then what I also found was because of my breathing, I couldn't walk properly. Can't say not walk properly. I couldn't climb stairs properly. I would have to hang on to my husband or hang on to the railing and then climb the stairs. And 4 months into patching, I said to my husband, we were at a building and there was a lot of stairs. I said to him, just go wait upstairs for me. So he went and I climbed those stairs without holding onto the railing. And I just climbed them one step at a time. There was no ways of sloshing my feet on the stairs or trying to get onto the next step. Or I just went up, boom, up the stairs. So then I knew this X39 was actually working. And then a month ago, into the new year, I decided that I want to do the park runs. And I was very scared to do it because I thought, how am I going to do a 5 kilometer walk when I can't even climb the stairs? Okay. So I went and I did the walk, and the first one I actually completed the 5 kilometers. And I've done 6 park runs now. And each park run, my time is bettered. So it means that I'm walking better. I'm not getting pins and needles in my fingers. I haven't got pain down my legs anymore. So, yay, X39, thank you. And David Schwendt. Thank you, Mel.
I didn't know about the park run, so that's a new part to your story. That's amazing.
Okay, yes.
That's fantastic. Well done.
Thank you.
And it really just is incredible because as we talk about how our strength improves. Some of you may know that last week I went to Cape Town because Arlene, who is in my team and she's from Australia, and Henrietta from Norway were here. They are here on a life alignment retreat, which I'm not on, but I went to go and see them in the Cape. And it's incredible. You sit around with people from around the world who've been patching and you hear their stories. Some of them, obviously, I know, but were there people there that don't know their stories? We did a presentation in Cape Town. They're absolutely blown away. I mean, Eileen, when she started patching just over a year ago, she could barely pick up a teacup because she'd had open heart surgery because she had a 3 centimeter tumor in her heart, and that was depriving her of oxygen. It was non-cancerous, and then 6 weeks later, she had a double mastectomy. But the oxygen she'd been deprived of because of the cancer, the tumor in her heart, had caused her to have neuropathy and fibromyalgia and a whole lot of other things, which all went very quickly. I mean, she's gone from not being able to do very much at all because of her surgery to being able to do all kinds of things. She can pick up 20 kilos of rocks now. Her mother paints rocks. So she went from only being able to pick up a teacup. She very proudly shows you her muscles. her scars from her cancer were red and raised when she started, well, from her mastectomy and her heart surgery. If you look at her now, she was showing people at the talk the other day, you look at her and she shows the scar. You can't see them. There's a tiny bit of keloid left, but you cannot, if you even sitting like the distance I am from my computer away, you can't see those scars. It's absolutely incredible. She says her granny hands have gone. There are all kinds of things. Henrietta's hormone issues have reversed. Her eyes, she wore special glasses, they're like special curved lenses from when she was 18. She doesn't anymore. She needs normal glasses. She has one pair of glasses instead of three. Plus, her eyes have improved by over one on each eye. She was 4 point something and that reduced dramatically. So when you sit and you hear people whose lives have changed so, so amazingly, it's just incredible. And we, as I say, we hear stories like that all the time. So let's go back to the presentation. One more slide for Mich.
So just now I mentioned to you that there's a website called thisisinfo.com. Take a photo of this slide because go there, do yourself a favor, and you'll see on the home screen there are a few videos listed, going from a brief little introduction on the patch to the healthcare professional presentation that David Schmidt did. And below that, there's one by Dr. Leland Stillman, and he goes into quite a lot of detail on how it works as well. There's a doctor's panel. And the thing that I spent a lot of time in was the case studies, independent case studies showing exactly what X39 does. And then there's the US patent is available there, and there are some testimonies there. So I spent a lot of time on this website when I was looking into this. And the other day I went on it again because it seems to have changed a little bit here and there. So do yourself a favor and spend time there. And even if you've done it before, a year ago, go and have a look again because it has changed a little bit.
Thanks, Mich.
Yeah, pleasure.
All right, so I'm going to quickly go through the business and I'm going to go through it very quickly because if you're interested in knowing more about the compensation plan, you can go back to the person who invited you, and I'm going to give you the website where you can watch a whole hour's presentation on it because it can be quite overwhelming when you hear it to start with. I joined the company without ever having looked at the compensation plan or even what the company did. I just heard David Schmidt talking and I went, this guy sounds amazing, this product sounds incredible, I'm signing up. I knew it was new to South Africa. I didn't even know how old the company was. So when I had a result and I thought, well, I'm going to start telling people, I thought, I need to know a bit more about this company. Unlike Alex, I looked at it afterwards because I'm not going to tell my friends and family about LifeWave if it's not a reputable company, because most network marketing companies don't make it past the first 3 years. So that was in 2023, and we were an 18-year-old company, well, a 19-year-old company then. Last year, we turned 20. So we're definitely a stable company. We've been around for 20 years. In 2020, things changed for LifeWave because X39 came to market. And the company went from a $20 million a year turnover to doing over 600 million last year. And you can see the increase. We did a 3,000% increase in business over the last 4 years. This year, we're on track to do over $1 billion in business. And South Africa, that was the worst performing country in Europe when I joined LifeWave, is now the top performing country in Europe, and we grew by 300% last year. Now, if we can grow in South Africa, where the economy is so weak compared to the rest of the world, then anybody can grow with LifeWave, and we grow because people have amazing results. And the exciting thing about LifeWave is we're not a Me Too company, because if I said to you I had a weight loss shake, well, you're going to say, well, I've got one too. And then when people are short of money, they're going to go buy it at their local supermarket. With LifeWave, you either buy it from using a link from a brand partner to get wholesale price, so either as a customer or as a brand partner. And if you do buy it out of a store, like my local pharmacy that sell it, by company policy, they have to sell at recommended retail, which is 50% more. So you are going to pay more if you buy it there. We are ranked as the #1 momentum company on businessforhome.org, which is a huge American site. It has huge credibility in the network marketing industry, and we are #1 momentum, which is very exciting. Last year, we won the 2024 Global Bravo Award as the #1 growth company. And why am I showing you the picture? Because we've won it again this year. And in March, we will be awarded the 2025 Global Bravo Award for the #1 momentum company in network marketing. So at this point of the presentation, we always ask, what is the most important thing in your life? Why are you on this presentation today? What is it that brought you here? Are you looking for something different for your family? Is it that you work all the time and you're on a treadmill and you don't have any time freedom, so you can't spend time with your family? You might be doing fine financially, but you might not get joy from what you're doing or have any time to spend with your children or your wife, your husband. Are you looking for security? And I know somebody, I think it's Alex, who says, well, in South Africa, the security could be, the actual security, and you need to pay for it because we need to be safe. Do you want to travel more? And with LifeWave, there are amazing incentive trips. So you could travel with LifeWave because they reward us by travel, or just because you want to travel and you want the time to travel and you'll have more money to travel. Are you looking for better health? And, Avril was looking for better health. Alex was looking for better health. Mich has had better health because she's eczema free. I was looking for better health for my husband and I wasn't going to look at anything else. And I have that too. Or are you looking for less debt? Or is it all of those things? So just think about what it is that's brought you here today. So LifeWave has an incredible compensation plan. There's several ways we get compensated. If we sign up a brand partner, we get something that's known as a product introductory bonus. We can sign up customers, either as retail customers where they're paying full price, or preferred customers where they have a monthly order and they get wholesale price. So if you're on the call today and you're thinking, I want product, I never want to tell another person, you could sign up as a preferred customer and you will get the same price as brand partners. And then, of course, we get rewarded for building teams. And in LifeWave, we love to build teams. So we build 2 legs. People only have 2 legs. LifeWave, we only have 2 legs. So you either put your people on your left leg or your right leg. And going manager in LifeWave is as easy as knowing 4 friends and signing up 4 friends underneath you. And once you've done that, you become what is known as a manager, and you open up the whole binary compensation plan, which means that you can get cycle bonuses, and cycle bonuses are $50 a time. And it's all based on the volume that is generated by everything that happens underneath you. So the volume from people buying products, signing up, having customers, that all impacts us. But the great thing about teams is whichever leg you are put on by your upline, anybody they add to that leg and anybody who has been added before you who adds people, they drop down below you. I always say it's like those champagne fountains they used to have at weddings, those round glasses, you pour the champagne in the top and it overflows. Well, it overflows down the leg that you've been put on. And so you end up having a whole lot of people who are adding to your business volume that you don't even know. And that is the joy of this compensation plan. It's very exciting. Now, once you're a manager, you open up the matching bonuses. And that means that every time somebody you've introduced gets a cycle bonus, you get 25% of it, but not of their money. So as Alex said, she's my first line. I signed Alex up. So every time Alex gets a cycle bonus, I get 25%. She still gets her full $50 or her 100 or 200 or however many dollars it is she's got in cycle bonuses that week. But the company says, Merle, you've done a great job helping her to achieve that. So you are going to get rewarded for it. Anybody Alex brings in would be my second line. And on my second line, I get 20% of everything that they do. And then on my third line, the same thing. Third line is the people they introduce. Now, the more people you brought into the business who are getting cycle bonuses, the more you're going to earn on that. And this is not capped at all. So the potential on matching bonuses is endless. Now, how do you come into LifeWave? I always like to say you come in where you fit in. So if you think, well, I am just going to start patching, David Schmidt says everybody should patch for at least 90 days. That would mean you need 3 sleeves of patches. So if you think I'm not going to tell anybody till I have my own story, then coming in on core, which will cost you $295, will give you 3 sleeves of X39 and you can get your story. Some people start telling others before their 3 months are up because they start seeing the benefits, or they start seeing what's happening to other people and they start spreading the word. The great thing about LifeWave is if you come in on core and then you want to go to advanced, you just pay the difference and you get the difference in product. So you don't have to start all over again, which is what happens in some network marketing companies. If, however, you have a bigger family, like if you and your husband want a patch and you each want 3 months supply, then you're going to come in on advanced, and it's going to cost you $5.35. So already you're getting a discount on your sixth sleeve of patches. It's only going to cost you $35. You get 6 sleeves of X39, or you can customize the pack. So Mich talked about the Eon and the Ice Wave. You could replace one sleeve of X39 with one Eon and one Ice Wave, so you can get 2 of the supplementary patches in place of one X39. If you're really serious, you have a practice, you have a pharmacy, you have a health store, you want a lot of product, or you've got a very big family, or you want to get lots of product out onto other people's bodies, then you're going to start on premium, which is $1,750. Your X39 goes down to $87.50 a sleeve, and it covers you for 3 months. So what do I mean by that? To keep your volume on the binary, you need to be active. And to be active, you need to buy a sleeve of product a month. And that's what you would normally do. But if you're on premium, you don't have to. Once you're a manager, you need 2 sleeves of product. But whoever invited you to the call can explain all of that. So as I said, this is at info.com Mich spoke about. This is at team.com, is the team website where all the information is. So if you bought a franchise, you would have to go to franchise school. We have incredible senior presidential directors, Carl and Kathy Firestone, who have owned many franchises. And Carl Firestone always says that certain franchises that he's bought, he's had to go to franchise school first for that franchise, pay a whole lot of money to be there. And then only when he's finished 3 weeks and written the exams, do they actually tell him if he can even buy a franchise. With LifeWave, you can come in for $300 and it's like having your own franchise, and all the information is all there, and this is a team if you go and watch it. And then, of course, there's the YouTube site for This Is It as well, and there's a lot of training there, and we now have an app called School. So if you're a brand partner and you're part of the team, you can sign up for the School app, and all the training is there. So everything is there, including an hour-long presentation on how the comp plan works, if that is what you need to know before you sign up. So the time is now to make your move. Are you serious about your dreams? There is hope for your future, whether the hope is financial hope or it's for better health. All you need to do is go back to the person who invited you today and say, how do I get started? And they will tell you how to get started. So if you want to earn an extra $50 a week or $100 or $500 a week, they can help you do that. And if you just want a patch, they'll have a solution to get the patches for you at the most affordable way. So thank you, everybody, for being on the presentation this evening. Thanks, Mich, for sharing the product part. It's always wonderful to present with you. And I hope everybody has a wonderful evening.